This was madness. But I've done my homework. I have a team of people that do their homework every day. We have the phone here, so they can call and say, this is crazy talk. Well, they'll tell you this is crazy talk, but they cannot deny the things that they have in video. They have said in papers, in books, on video. They can't deny it. That's why they don't call. Do your own homework. One of the groups behind all of this is Free Press. I started looking into it. I was first struck by their motto, Free Press, reform media, transform democracy. We're going to fundamentally transform America. Transform democracy. Boy, I didn't know democracy needed transforming. Did you? Anyway, you'll remember, Free Press is the group pushing for net neutrality, which would take the internet out of the private hands of private business and into the hands of the government. It would create a level playing field. It would help diversity. It would destroy the free market that created the internet. But you know how those evil corporations are, always trying to be successful and make money. Oh, so evil. Free Press is also behind Save the News. They are, quote, leading the search for new public policies to save journalism. How about people in journalism start doing their job? That might save it. Promote a robust free press in America. Policies would do that, huh? Policies like a government bailout for newspapers, a government bailout for journalism. I was struck by their idea, and I love this, that we would take AmeriCorps. We've talked about AmeriCorps on this show before, haven't we? Take AmeriCorps and put them into journalism. How exactly does that promote a robust free press? But then we go to public broadcasting. Free Press's executive director, Josh Silver's position paper, Public Media Moment, spells out to President Obama how to take advantage. Quote, the growing crisis facing commercial journalism and public media's unique ability to address it makes such reform all the more urgent. Never miss an emergency. You have a rare opportunity to achieve real change and reinvent public media. Adding, quote, just as the economic crisis has put an end to the free market fundamentalism, so should the failure of commercial media to adequately serve the public interest and the myth that the government has no role in fulfilling society's information needs. Well, it's interesting to me that I read someplace just a few months ago that the White House has tried to put together their own newsroom this year. Do you remember that story? You see how the White House's Fox isn't a real news organization, those comments, they start to make a little more sense in this context, don't they? Silver calls on President Obama to create a White House commission on public media to provide policy recommendations. And how do we pay for it? Well, Silver points out that currently only $400 million per year goes to the public media. He recommends a media trust fund, kind of like Social Security trust fund, starting with a $50 billion trust fund, more money from Congress, or wait for it, he suggests, a tax on electronics. A tax of 0.5% of the purchase price for every home electronic device. Multimedia players, cable, satellite, set-top boxes, video game systems, televisions, etc. Those devices that entertain America would be in turn supporting programming to inform, educate, and enlighten. And the fee would be paid by those consumers with the means to spend on new electronics. Oh, those consumers with the means. That translates to the rich people. Higher taxes, and this would not increase the deficit, of course, by one thin dime. Neither will healthcare. For new media, it won't be controlled by evil corporations. No. It will be controlled by the government, which, as more and more Americans now know, the government's being controlled by global corporations and special interest groups. He calls for a better corporation public broadcasting with depoliticized professional staffing. Depoliticized? With billions of dollars on the line? How do you take the politics out of that? You know the internet is one of the last places that you are free, truly free, to blog, to speak, to share. Man has never been more free to share to more people than on the internet right now. But they're going to fix that with regulation, sponsored by, the little people. Google, Amazon.com, Microsoft, the little ones. Step one, shut free speech down, the speech that they don't like. Step two is tricky because nature abhors a vacuum. You got to fill that space. What to fill it with? What to fill it with? And the blue curtain.